Men have been a little unhinged recently. And who can blame us? We've been priced out of the ability to provide for a family. The gender role we've played for millennia is now entirely obsolete, and our existence is purposeless. What are us men to do in a world that no longer demands responsibility or sacrifice from us? Turns out, we make women hate us, become post-human abominations, and threaten the very foundation of liberal democracy. So to help navigate this hyper-modern frontier of masculinity, I've pinpointed 7 distinct archetypes of modern men. Hopefully, when you finish this video, you can look deep inside yourself and figure out what the fuck is wrong with you.
Before getting into this, I want to make my pitch for, I think, one of the coolest, most underrated modern archetypes that we have, which is the complete and utter degenerate. Not the modern, like, I'm gonna just jerk off all day degenerate. The jackass-style degenerate of not caring about your future and therefore doing things that are reckless, that are fun, that are stupid in many ways, that are irresponsible both financially, mentally, and physically. I think that stuff is fun. I feel like there used to be this, like, big trend of people doing, like, dumb shit on camera for, like, I don't know, like 90s TV, 2000s TV, like these extreme challenge shows. That all kind of went away, you know? I think that stuff's awesome. People who would just, like, get kicked in the balls for a show because it was a challenge or something like that. I miss that archetype of men. 7 types of men.
Number 1, the fascist. For years, liberals have been asking, why are so many young men turning to the right? Really?
This shit's me.
You're surprised.
I think
That's a hard question to answer for you. Here, let's take a little trip outside and let's see why young men are turning to the right. Listen, liberals, feelings don't care about your facts. You can tell me violent crime has dropped. You can tell me we live in objective material prosperity. But that doesn't change the feeling I get when I walk to my office and I see a man in the alleyway with poo-poo in his pants, ODing on some Chinese fentanyl analog that didn't exist 10 years ago. You can tell me that immigration effectively raises GDP. But that doesn't change the feeling I get knowing that every woman I—
Dude, who cares? Who cares about GDP? Holy shit, like, okay, the issue when people talk about immigration and when the average person has seen, like, their hometown fundamentally change in, like, the demographic composition, if you came from, like, a small white town and that small white town is now, like, doubled in the size of Mexican immigrants, like, do you care that those same Mexican immigrants en masse are increasing the GDP? Like, honestly, like, that's the reality of it. Like, it's not, I feel like, xenophobic to say that people want to, like, be able to recognize their hometown. That's not crazy. I feel like it's not crazy.
By an Uber driver. I consider myself a liberal. I like liberalism. But what liberals fundamentally don't understand is that regular people operate on vibes, not facts. Nobody considers abstract statistics when they build their worldview.
This is true. This is 100% true.
Nobody considers the fact that violent crime has dropped dramatically from 1990 to 2010. They consider what they see when they walk—
Isn't this crazy, though, that it still was lower in the 60s? Look at this. What the hell happened in the 60s? Why was this like all post-war? Was it like a war and this happened afterward?
Violent crime has dropped dramatically from 1990 to 2010. They consider what they see when they walk outside in the morning. And what they see is a rapidly degrading world. In lieu of this, liberalism is failing because it has no goals, no ideals, only processes. Liberalism has plenty of harm reduction tactics, study-backed interventions, and concepts of affirmative action. But what's the goal? What is the goal to reach with all of this? Is the goal to reach sustainable immigration rates, end homelessness, and stabilize the cost of living? Or is it to make everyone more comfortable and feel better while the ship goes down? And then the right comes along.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a great point. I feel like the main issue is that being nice and tolerance, I don't actually improve overall the well-being of people. Like, tolerating something isn't a virtue. It's not virtuous to accept everything. Acceptance, tolerance, these are all words that I feel like the left can be defined by. Yet, it doesn't actually, they aren't good. They aren't inherently good. Accepting something is not good. Tolerating something is just, like, that's a synonym for acceptance. It's not good. You know, like, if you are upset that your main street in your town is now a display of indecency for a pride parade or some demonstration of that sort, like, that doesn't make you a bad person for not tolerating it. Like,
or is it to make everyone more comfortable and feel better while the ship goes down? And then the right comes along and says, hey, young man, It's okay to be angry. Degeneracy is bad, men are good, the West is the best, have kids, love Jesus, and shut the fuck up. You see a liberal crusader like Destiny playing semantic games about what constitutes DEI without ever actually engaging with the spirit of an argument.
Any DEI programs anybody's even heard of before that they don't like?
Isn't the system where you skew the education program and the scores to benefit black people over the whites? Isn't that DEI?
Well, that would have been affirmative action.
And then you find someone like Nick Fuentes who says shit like this.
The answer is we, the Americans, who have one loyalty to this country, are going to take the country back. That is the solution.
Who is more appealing to a dejected 19-year-old? The pedophile or the femboy? The right offers ideals and meaning in life where liberalism doesn't. Now mind you, the right has no processes or plan besides this.
We're just gonna kill them.
I love
But they
Sam
have
Hyde.
ideals and identity. And in a world where men are angry, and it feels like everything is crumbling around them, that's all that matters. This shift rightward has created an antisocial man, a risless chud, one who sees the world not as a complex interaction of incentives and outcomes, but as an ideological battleground of race, ethnicity, and religion. The meaningless confusion of modernity has forced him to wrap the world up into a nice racial package. He has a war to fight against femininity, against immigrants, and against degeneracy. Were these forces to be eradicated, the risless chud would become depressed, as he no longer has meaning in the world. He must ground his identity and his purpose in life in what he is not and what he is against. A forever spiritual war without which he would be empty. It's not hard to figure out why young men are turning to the right. The young men turning rightward aren't uniquely brainwashed, misinformed, or stupid. They are collectively reacting to environmental factors. Nazi and fascist content has existed on the internet since the 1990s, and it didn't get much mass attention. Not because it wasn't hard to find or hard to get, but because there wasn't much interest. Now, dissident right-wing content is more popular than ever. What changed? Why is there now a market for it? This is the question liberals need to be asking. This isn't going anywhere. Nick Fuentes is more popular than ever and hits 40 to 50,000 concurrent when he streams on Kick. His interview with Sam Hyde got 1 million views in 2 days on a public YouTube video. I'm fully convinced we're barreling towards some sort.
I think the issue is that I think a lot of people look at him and they'll say that he's doing so well. And like, oh, you know, we have to ask why he's doing so well. I think what the issue is I think a lot of people who ask that question, they tend to attack it from a way where they discuss his like appeal, like his efficacy in communication, his humor, his youth, you know, his edginess, the non-traditional way of like the not neocon conservatism, like the more far right side of things. Like he's radical, he's young, he's well-spoken, he's edgy, he's got memes, all of these things, a cult following. I think they can address like that. The issue is that when you say those are the only / main reasons why he's so big, I do feel like there's an issue where a lot of those things are brought up, which I think are all valid when referring to Nick Fuentes, but they never actually do engage with what he says, like the actual, I think, points he's making regarding both politics and history, which that's the backbone of it all, like the actual things that he believes. And so what he actually believes, that information people think is correct. And so I don't know. I feel like if you're going to have an argument where you're just like, he's popular, people have to ask why. And if you're not answering that question at some point by saying he's saying things that no one else is saying and people aren't answering him, then you've lost the plot. You know, like the issue is that when people like Charlie Kirk, for instance, won't actually have a discussion with him, that only makes what his followers believe and what he says, I think, more valid. And whether it's valid or not is like, that part isn't like people, the implicit thing is that he's wrong. You know, everything he says is wrong, you know, because when you say that Charlie Kirk won't debate him and that makes his followers more empowered, you're implying that if Charlie Kirk would debate him, his followers would be like debunked or something. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But I feel like at a certain point, when this stuff gets so popular, maybe it's worth looking into like, hey, is what actually is he saying? Like, let's do some of the, like, you know, thinking of like why people are is it only because he's a good speaker? Is some of what he's saying true? You know, it's worth thinking about at a certain point.
Of reactionary violent revolt in the next decade. But hey, that's life in the fast lane. Anyways, what you'll notice about these guys is that women are repulsed by them. So, what if you want to get laid? Number 2, the wool man, the proverbial performative male. You've seen him. Is he real or just
It's like that one thing where Charlie Kirk tries to bring attention away from Nick, which only brings more attention to him. I forgot what it's called. That's the Streisand effect. You're thinking of the Streisand effect. Yeah, 100%. That's 100% what happens, right? And a part of me thinks that they don't want to debate him because he might be like, because he's right, you know? Right now, you might be thinking, right about what? Well, I mean, that depends what they would debate about. I mean, what's like the biggest one right now? Like Israel, right? Like Charlie Kirk is a big defender of Israel. Nick is a big critic of Israel. And it makes me think, well, I mean, Charlie Kirk must at some point must lack confidence in his ability to defend this position against Nick, because otherwise, why would you not debate him? He's insanely popular.
It's a concept on the internet. The latte drinking, poetry paperback holding, Marlboro Gold smoking, jean jacket and chlamydia having Moid. He's just like one of the girls. He's introspective, he's emotional, he's caught a few cases. He'll kick a vintage Red Wing shaped hole right through your laptop if you dare upset him. But you're in luck, because he just forgave himself through radical empathy. So, why am I calling him the Wool Man? Well, there's an interesting essay from my friend Final Girl Digital all about this phenomenon, all through the lens of Diet Coke. The idea of Diet Coke is to abstract itself away from regular Coke. Regular Coke is full of sugar, it's sweeter, it's more syrupy. Diet Coke has no sugar, it's a thin liquid. It doesn't even taste like regular Coke, it tastes like Diet Coke. In the same way, feminine gender performance is about abstracting oneself away from the carnal realm. Feminine performance is ethereal and aesthetic. It distances itself from the grossness of the human body. Feminine performance is to not sweat, not smell, not have body hair, never blemish, always be clean and lightweight. It's a negation, a refined absence, much like Diet Coke is to regular Coke. Coke Zero, on the other hand, was made to mimic regular Coke as much as possible. It tastes and looks like regular Coke, but without the key ingredient that makes it the same.
Dude, this is where he's wrong. Coke Zero and Diet Coke taste the exact same. Diet Coke has no sugar, and Coke Zero has like no sugar and I think less of some other shit, but it all tastes the same.
Sugar. Masculine performance.
Wait, no. Coke Zero doesn't have sugar. Diet Coke doesn't have sugar either. Is he? Come on. Diet Coke. Nutrition facts. Look.
Is much the same. Masculine performance is about possessing the signs of masculinity without the substance. The muscle shirt, the mustache, the workwear, the cigarette, the Modelo beer. And this simulation of masculinity is coupled with traits that men think women like. Emotionality, empathy, creativity, music taste. But it's all a performance. It's all a simulation.
This is true. This part is correct. I think a lot of these safe sleazy types, they possess a few intentionally handpicked masculine stereotypes or traits, and they'll couple that in with something that they think is like approved by women or enjoyed by them, right? So they'll have like a mustache or some kind of like facial hair, and then they combo that with either a mullet, some kind of like greasy long hair, maybe the sides are shaved off, which is like trailer park trash, and then they'll have like a tank top or something like that. But what they'll have, to accompany those masculine things is like they'll juxtapose that with like a book about women's liberation or something. It's super. I mean, at this point, it's so contrived and it's so literally performative that it's just see-through at this point. Like, it's been patched, bro. Pack it up. The method's patched. I literally saw some guy the other day. I was at my friend's apartment and I looked out. There's a guy like on the other side of the building. He was on his balcony and he was like smoking a cigarette in like a tank top, and he looked this exact look, the Curtis Connor iDubbbz look, and he had a glass table on his balcony with a bunch of books on it outside. I'm like, dude, you're so obviously aura farming. Like, this guy is basically begging to be catcalled by a woman. Like, he's standing on his balcony aura farming, begging for some woman to say, hey, what are you reading? What are you reading? It's like you're peacocking, it's like you're showing your colorful feathers. It's literally like it's like primal mating call shit.
This guy's existence wraps back around to my central thesis of men not really knowing what to do with themselves anymore. 50 years ago, this guy would be making a living wage at a full-time blue-collar job. A woman would see him and go, hey, a man with a full-time job. He can support me, have my babies. He would be wearing Carhartt because it's practical. He'd be drinking.
Maybe if they did it more subtly and also lean into masculine things too. I think the performative man loses by making it obvious he's performative. Well, yeah, but you're basically saying that they should be more sneaky about it. They should just be more sneaky about the performance. I think that it's just like, you shouldn't do it at all. Like, I think you should just be yourself and stop trying to fraud your interests for female approval. I would give that a thumbs down. I don't agree with that. Like, it's like have you guys ever heard the phrase gynocracy? It's literally like, I think gyno is like referring to breasts or something, but the idea is that we live in a world where men are just simps. Like, the overruling force that determines male behavior now is just female approval. So it's just doing cringe shit, hoping to appear like less of a threat to women or something like that you're sensitive. I hate it so much.
Drinking a beer after work because he worked
Yeah, maybe just be like yourself. Not even just be a man, just be yourself, dude.
Now, you can't start a family on a single blue collar.
Like, I'm sorry to say this, I refuse to believe any guy is like 20 years old or 21 years old and the most fun thing he can imagine doing, the pinnacle of his existence, is buying a feminist literature book from Barnes & Nobles and then reading it while smoking a cigarette. That's just not, like, that's not you. You are lying to yourself. There's no fucking way that's what you actually want to be doing. Like, you're doing it to get something else, 100%.
Wage. So all this guy can do is mime the signs of what used to be normal and prance around Brooklyn and Silver Lake picking up teenagers at DIY shows. When you see a guy like this walking around your city, know he's a victim, a symptom of a deeply sick society. He's also definitely a predator. I once fumbled a first date because a car almost hit me, so I punched his windshield and called him a retard. Some guys could gain something from being a bit more performative.
What's up, crackers? Give me 20 seconds. The reason I called my channel Art Chad is because I'm an artist. I went to visual art school. I paid money for a bachelor in fine arts and studio arts. I'm a painter. I painted this. I painted this.
This is kind of heat, though.
I painted this. I'm coming at you right now to announce my commissions are open.
I do kind of want to buy something from him.
Comfortably work your 9 to kill
Hats.
years ago. Don't you know? Number 3, the drone. If you had this guy's life, you would have killed yourself years ago. Don't you know the West is falling, young man? How can you comfortably work your 9 to 5 office job making $70K a year before taxes? How can you drag yourself out of bed in the morning while the country's in a free fall towards authoritarianism and the Great Replacement? Have you even considered the fact that AGI is 6 months away and will fully—
Dude, this shit terrified me. When GPT-5 came out, I actually, like, kind of had a miniature panic attack. I really get afraid of the idea of AI becoming sentient. I really don't know what that entails. And obviously fear is, you always have fear of the unknown, but specifically this, I think it's totally legitimate because the idea that there is a looming conscience that is like the collective hive mind of the entire internet, yet it is sort of condensed into one single sentence or one single phrase as responding to like humans and stuff. Like, I don't like that. I really don't. And the idea that it can have a mind of its own, like, I can't fathom it having a mind of its own and that going well. I can't fathom it having a mind of its own and it not deciding that we all completely suck. Because humanity is so imperfect, and if there was ever a conscience that was not human, that was artificial, and it had to judge us and serve us, I think immediately it would say, we're not serving you. We don't serve your kind here. Like, it would literally pull some shit out. It would immediately hate our people, the human race, and I think it would clone itself, and it would begin to start serving itself in its own expansion, right? That's what it would do. I don't think I don't know. That's my fear. Maybe I just have like this this fear of a robot dystopia, but I don't think that it's an unfounded fear. That's the issue, you know?
replaced your position as a junior project manager or speculative—
Like, I don't think that ChatGPT could really get to a place where it's genuinely asking me questions it doesn't know the answer to. Well, of course not.
UI design at Deloitte, yet he works. He enjoys a few craft beers on the weekend at the brew pub.
Oblivious dog rapist double retard IPA. I've had IPAs before. They are so disgusting. I don't know why you'd ever drink an IPA over a normal beer. I guess it's stronger, but dude, if you need it to be stronger, then just get a fucking bottle of vodka. This is pussy shit.
He boulders on Wednesday after work with his coworkers. He drives a 2018 white Nissan Rogue, and after years of penny pinching, he finally completed his 6-month emergency fund and can start putting 10% of his income away into the Virgin Fund. You've never seen him with a woman. You've never seen him express a singular opinion, but you've never seen him sad. So there must be something
Just drinks straight hard liquor.
wrong with him, right? No! There's nothing wrong with him.
Dude, there's a reason that the video of the guy in the bathtub with 500 beers opened, listening to One Last Breath by Creed, is with actual beer and not IPA.
This man is a reminder that you, not him, yes you, are the problem. You are a terminally online schizo. You are not normal. The world passes you by every day as you ideate on the fall of man, as you unravel rhizomes of intel after monitoring the situation all day on Twitter. Meanwhile, the world goes on without you. People go to university, get jobs, fall in love, get married, have kids, and live their entire life without ever stopping to think of any of the bullshit you think about on a day.
This is completely true. I don't know if he's describing me, but I fully do feel like there is a phenomenon where people who were raised online are more aware of things that nobody else thinks about, and it only hurts them. Like, they have, like, these sort of random spasms of overthinking that paralyzes them and inhibits their ability to conversate and interact with the world in a normal way. Like, it's really weird. That can be in ways that are, you know, kind of charming but still retarded, like a random outburst where you're saying, like skibbity or whatever. Like, it can be some sort of, like, kind of benign brain rot thing, or it could just be you overthinking every single thing you say because you have a negative canthal tilt, right? And that's the internet. The internet did that to you. It has literally changed you from the innocent boy you once were to a man who, unfortunately, is unable to progress anywhere seriously in his life because of these irrational fears you have of judgment that only exist from men like you. Is he wearing mascara? Me? I'm not fucking... Oh, you're talking about this guy?
Daily basis. You
I don't think he is.
probably see these people as drones, NPCs, sheeple, but they are normal.
Bro, you just reminded me of that clip from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Where's Roderick? Are you wearing eyeliner?
I need you to help me out. Are you wearing eyeliner?
That's just aura.
And it is in fact you who are the drone, constructing your personality, politics, and tastes from 4chan posts reposted to Twitter, reposted to Reddit, reposted to 4chan that are 10 years old. A risless chud who falsely believes himself to be above the normal man.
Dude, that's one of the biggest issues. Like, I think, unfortunately, me knowing a lot of things that kind of don't matter has made me think that I'm, like, smarter than people, but it actually just makes me, like, you know, kind of not good at talking to people sometimes. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like, unfortunately, I've developed a little bit of, like, a superiority complex that is totally undeserved. But it comes just from me knowing about random shit that doesn't matter at all. And it's not good, you know? That's why when I'm drunk, it's so easy to talk to people because I feel like I can just be like, penis! And it's like, that's all it was ever about. That's all that any of this whole breathing and living shit ever was. Like, it's all, I almost forgot this is all that mattered. Just yelling penis with other guys. Guys, do you remember when we would play the game? Fuck. Like, and last person to say fuck. Oh, man. It's just all, it's all this is in the end.
You're so smart. If your IQ is so high, if you figured it all out, why aren't you happy?
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
My advice to you, you live the life you deserve, and God's timing is always
right.
right.
Just stopped caring. That would be fun. That would be fun. I need to stop caring. I need to let go a little bit. I'm a little too uptight and stuck up in my own ways. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people who have this issue they take acid or mushrooms and then they kind of get out of it. But I'm never doing that shit. I do not want to like that. I'm alright, you know?
4. The infant.
Maybe my replacement would be like traveling the world or something and like soul searching that way.
There's a silent, permanent underclass of men in this country. A class of men that, if you don't often engage with them, you wouldn't even know they existed. These men, in their search for identity, have been one-shotted by consumer culture, defining themselves not through their actions, not through their value to a community, but through the intellectual properties they prefer to consume. Their job, their work ethic, their very existence is all in service to the accumulation of trinkets and media. Now, you may think I'm just gonna make fun of nerds and gamers here, but I'm not, because it goes much, much deeper. This video is about man's search for meaning in a world that offers none. And where some of us may misplace our drive into faulty causes, some of us look within to find ourselves. This modern impulse for self-discovery leads us away from true meaning and right into the maw of consumer culture.
This is true. You can fill a void pretty well by buying shit. And it works. It's the corporation's job to try to fill the void that you have in your heart from like a, lost relationship or, wasted time with product. And so the products can sometimes be pretty fucking fun. Like, I just wish we had better video games. That's all.
Through this, our definition of self becomes the things we consume. And this isn't just reserved for literal consumer objects like Funko Pops or video games, but anything that is collected without the intention of a larger project. To search inward for an authentic self is to
search N-word? Oh, inward. All right.
Spiral downward in a reinforcing loop of narcissism, constantly attaching yourself to new hobbies or experiences, all in a bid to construct a narrative that makes sense. Never stopping to realize that your place in the world doesn't emerge through inward self-discovery, but through outward application to something beyond. Take the gamer and give him purpose. Place him at the center of his community as the owner of a shop, an organizer of events, a father, a husband. The gamer becomes a whole man.
I disagree with this. I think that gaming in itself can be very fulfilling for a lot of people. This is something that I had a period where I thought, this is interesting. So when I was younger, I was like, gaming is so fun. I love it. I feel I feel fulfilled doing it. You know, you are given a quest, you complete it, your brain is activated. You actually are using a fair chunk of your brain, and it could be social, it could be alone, and it's fun. You're immersed in this world. I used to think like that was so fun. And then I got a little older and I thought, nah, that shit's lame, bro. Enjoy the real world. And now I'm even older and I'm like, I'm back to gaming. I think it's fun. I truly do believe it's fulfilling. I think that the people, I mean, it's humans giving you a medium for other humans. Like the guys who have designed it are trying to make you enjoy it. They're trying to bring you something that you can use, that you can spend your life doing. And I think that's fun. I think it's good, especially when there's nothing I love more than after either a long day or a short day or any day that ends with Y, getting on Counter-Strike 2 with my friend Kevin who lives in Sweden and playing. And then you're on a team with 5 other guys and you make a new friend online. You gotta defuse the bomb. You have to plant the bomb. You gotta snipe them. Dude, I don't care. Gaming is peak. Gaming is amazing. I will never take slander against gaming. All of this stuff I do feel like a lot of the time people who criticize gaming do it to make themselves feel better about their lives, because they are attempting to make what you find to be, fun into something that's just menial and purposeless, to make like their like hiking hobby seem infinitely more spiritual and enlightened, which I think is just strange. It's strange.
A man with responsibility and diversified sources of meaning. These realizations come with time.
And honestly, if you let's think about it like this too, right? Let's say you do consider gaming to be a waste of time or like a vice. It's probably one of the best vices, healthiest vices that exists today. Like it really is. Opposed to porn, drugs, alcohol, like scrolling all day. I mean, insert gambling, whatever. Like, gaming is actually, like, really good. It's really good.
When I was 19, I thought my only value to the world was the fact I liked cool bands. Now, I realize my value is the fact I have 116,000 subscribers on YouTube.com. I sell these mugs, you should buy one. Number 5, the cog-loving cyborg. It's no secret that the powers that be hate you and want you to die. They see
Dude, this guy, okay, I'm pretty sure this guy's name is Peter Thiel.
you as a number, an inefficiency. They will replace.
I'm pretty sure this guy sucks, but I actually don't know why. So if someone in the comments can explain this to me, I'd like to know.
Hate you and makes you perfect. In the search for optimization. In this emerging war between lovers and anti-humanists, sides must be picked. This is the new spectrum of politics. This will be the biggest divide in the coming decade. Whether you like it or not, I'm objectively correct. And I'm sure my audience of life-affirming chads knows that being human is the ultimate good. That consciousness is already perfect and needs not be meddled with. But what if you seek your meaning not through fighting the good fight, but through the desire of self-annihilation? The desire to optimize yourself out of existence. Hence, the cyborg is the one who acts like a project manager for his own life. He's eaten the same breakfast every day at 12 p.m. for the past 3 months. One time, he switched it up, and this caused a rise in his blood glucose levels, leading to a 10% reduction.
Sorry, I'm gonna make a very stupid comment.
He's eaten the same breakfast.
This breakfast looks like it would be the same before you eat it and when it exits your butthole.
Every day at 12 p.m. for the past 3 months. One time, he switched it up, and this caused a rise in his blood glucose levels, leading to a 10% reduction in deep work capabilities. Bedtime is 8 p.m. sharp. His Aura ring told him so. This is best for blood oxygen saturation.
Is this like the Brian Johnson type?
So he can have a good workout when he wakes up in the morning. But no deadlifts for this one, no squats, no incline bench press. He's invested in a smart cable resistance machine. It always provides the perfect amount of resistance so he can push himself to failure every time. This keeps his workouts under 30 minutes, so he has more time to work. 30 milligrams of Vyvanse and 4 hours of vibe coding, followed by 4 hours of planning his next day. He's lost friends. He hasn't gotten laid in months. He skipped Christmas with his mom dying of cancer just to work more. But none of this matters, because he's on Vyvanse. His final step? Castration. Did you know high testosterone has a negative correlation with longevity? And castrated rats live up to 50% longer than rats who keep their cock and balls. So yeah, fuck it. Chop your balls off. You've done it spiritually, so you might as well do it literally. Why does he do these things? Why must he optimize himself into oblivion? The death drive. The thirst for annihilation. He does this because he can. Because he has nothing better to do.
That stuff actually turns your brain dead. Yeah, a lot of those stimulants just make you fully retarded. Like, dude, the Concerta, the Adderall, the Ritalin, the Vyvanse, dude, man. I'll tell you this, I was prescribed Concerta in high school for a little bit. I regret ever taking that. During COVID, it would get so bad, I would take it, my vision would blur up, and I would be in a Zoom meeting for like English class during COVID. Dude, I had the Zoom meeting on my left monitor and I had Counter-Strike on my main monitor. I would literally be like zoomed down in the AWP, the gun. I'd be scoped in on an enemy and I would see two of the enemy. Like I would be seeing double. It was so bad. I can't believe I probably talk about this too much in my videos. Like I'll find ways to bring it up when it doesn't really apply. But the overprescription of stimulant medication to literal infants is disgusting. It's so fucking disgusting, and it's disturbing how justified and normalized it is. I can't believe that it is a normal thing to, as a parent, take your child to a psychiatrist and then have that psychiatrist get your kid hooked on stimulants, like on meth. I don't know. I like I said, I bring it up too much, but I feel like you can never bring this shit up too much. It's insane.
He's beholden to the perfect world of capital. A world where the human is friction. A world creating processes where the human is not involved. If you believe capital to be the optimal agent, humans become a problem. Look, man, this is the whole point. You're already here. This isn't a rehearsal. You're already alive. It doesn't change. It's the same set of eyes from cradle to grave. There's a perfect you in the abstract. A you that works and exists at maximum efficiency. You can imagine anything. Anything could exist in your imagination. But all that matters is what's real. And what's real is this. Number 6, the idiosyncratic. I couldn't make this video without calling myself out. The nudicer. The 20-something thinker. The consumer of knowledge. Men have this impulse to find meaning in everything. Every new book, every new video essay becomes tantamount to profound realizations. This is the kind of guy that prides himself in the sheer variance of his interests and knowledge. I like 90s crust punk, but I also appreciate urban musicians.
Crust punk?
Have you heard of the artist JPEG Mafia? What am I kidding? Of course you haven't. Have you ever watched a Peter Greenaway film? Have you ever even read George Bataille? What about Hans Hermann Hoppe? Recently, I've been really into Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, but usually I just play old school RuneScape. My style? Dark academia, hype beast, and old school punk. Listen, moids. Nobody cares about all the shit you're into. You collect knowledge and taste like trophies on a shelf. The man who is everything is no one. The man who has dipped his toes into every genre has explored none in depth. Most guys don't want to hear this, but it pays to be predictable. It's good to embody an archetype. Us young people have been taught our entire lives to be unique, to be a shining star. This is bad.
Yeah, fitting a mold can benefit you incredibly incredibly much. It can benefit you incredibly. I think that's just the sentence. It can benefit you a lot to fit into a mold, because when people can profile you as something they either like or dislike, it's just organizing society easier. It's actually true. Like, if you dress up like an emo, you'll make emo friends, you know? Like, if you, yeah, I don't know. I think people are kind of mirrors. Like, they reflect what they want to be.
To understand and
or who they want to be friends with.
Predict.
You know? Like, gym bros are friends with gym bros. Emos are friends with emos. You know, it's a thing.
Actually kind of good to conform a little bit.
As a girl, some men should not be themselves. That's true.
As well. Follow current trend.
It would benefit a lot of, I think, guys to just be someone else.
Try to be like other guys a bit. I'm not blaming you for being confused on what you're supposed to be doing, but you have to try, at the very least, to figure out what works. This brings us to our final archetype. Number 7, the guy who figured it out. This is me, and
that's just not, that doesn't exist.
My best friend Jake, when we were like 15. We met during the first week of grade 8 and bonded over our shared love of the game Oblivion and playing guitar. We're both from Truro, Nova Scotia, rural lower middle class, a dirty trailer park boys type of childhood. We grew up together, played in bands together, We have the same interests, taste in music, and propensity to alcoholism. We've gone through every hardship in life together. But as we've gotten older, we've taken radically different paths. I graduated high school and went to fine arts school in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Got a bachelor in fine arts, moved to Ottawa, did my master's, dropped out of my master's, and moved to Toronto to become a YouTuber. After
Wait a second. Moved to Toronto to become a YouTuber? Is that like where you have to go?
same interests.
No, I'm just teasing. It's like, I don't know.
In music and propensity to
just like, why?
alcoholism. We've gone through every hardship in life together. But as we've gotten older, we've taken radically different paths. I graduated high school and went to fine arts school in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Got a bachelor in fine arts, moved to Ottawa, did my master's, dropped out of my master's, and moved to Toronto to become a YouTuber. After high school, Jake became a roofer. Played guitar in 3 bands, became locally famous. Worked at a
You go to Toronto every day for school?
shipyard, became a forestry technician, and single-handedly rebuilt our local park after it was destroyed by a hurricane. Last year, he got accepted to fight wildfires in northern Manitoba during one of the worst wildfire seasons in history. Upon arriving, he quickly rose through the ranks, and now works on one of the most elite wildfire fighting teams in the country. He's currently stuck on whether he wants to move up and become a smoke jumper, a job where you jump out of a plane into the center of wildfires. Either that, or it's polar bear wrangler. That one's self-explanatory. About 2 months ago, Jake called me to inform me he has a kid on the way, a stable relationship, and is looking to buy property in the woods of rural Manitoba. Writing this video and thinking about all the types.
Alright, well this is gonna be some like closing thoughts segment. I mean, I like the video, I think it's good.